It's time to Suplex Tuesday. Well, we have another Tuesday morning, and I'm heading off to work. So, I watch Backlash. If some of y'all don't know, or may not know, I've talked about this kind of previously, that one time I was a pro wrestler for 7 years. I wrestled for 7 years in different small promotions. Wrestled in NWA at one time. Most of my career was actually in NWA, or at least affiliated with NWA. So that was most of my career. I was trained by Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant, and I had a blast in it. I actually had a ton of fun pro wrestling. Some of my favorite memories I have is of pro wrestling, and the fun that came from that. Yes, you beat and bang on each other, and your body does, get banged up sometimes. But I had a blast. I mean, I really did. I had a really fun time, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And I kind of wanted to further that career, and I figured I needed to start traveling a bit more, so that's why I joined the military. But besides that, I did pro wrestle for a while, and I was trained by one of the best pro wrestlers I think there ever was. Jimmy Valiant, Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant. He was a WB Hall of Famer. Back in the day, it was called WBF. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. But it was, he was, he's a Hall of Famer. Has his own wrestling school in Shawsville, Virginia. And me and my brother, Andy, decided to, go up there and train. He didn't finish his training, but I did. I stuck with it, finished my training, and went on to train some guys and to pro wrestle and with the NWA. And I won't say that I'm the greatest pro wrestler of all time or anything, but I know what good pro wrestling is. Some of y'all my age or older remember the good days of pro wrestling, the stories that were told in the ring. Because there wasn't a lot of storytelling outside the ring. You just didn't see that because it wasn't a big thing. It wasn't, when WCW kind of came around and WWF, when they were in the Attitude Era, yeah, you saw it back. But before that, the 70s and 80s, pro wrestling scene, it was all stories told inside the ring. And that's what I miss. So, I don't follow WWE as much as I used to. At one time, I'd watch it, pretty much every week, at least 2 or 3 times. I'd make sure I'd catch all the pay-per-views, and I never miss it or anything. But I not been watching it recently because it doesn't grab my attention anymore. There's a lot of reasons why, but one of the main reasons is they don't tell stories in the ring anymore. The wrestling itself has really come down. They're more focused on outside the ring storylines, and you miss the talent part of it. Now, not saying that nobody that is in that roster is not talented. I'm not saying that. It's just some of them don't know how to tell a story in the ring. And so I watched Backlash this past weekend. There is like one main storyline that I was kind of caring about. I know there's a couple that's going on. One storyline was the bloodline thing. I'm kind of seeing how they're doing that angle. I think they're dropping the ball with it bad. I think they've messed it up, and I think they're trying to salvage it. But I was watching it and was watching the matches, and I'm telling you what, there was, out of the whole thing, maybe 2 good matches, and that was it. It was really bad. And what's sad is one of the good matches that told a story in the ring and was halfway decent was the match with the rapper Bad Bunny. You're telling me you got somebody that is not a pro wrestler, that's not his main job. He's a rapper. I could tell that he had been trained a little bit in pro wrestling. He knew what he was doing. But that was the only match, or only one of two matches that was worth even the whole pay-per-view. I mean, I can't remember the guy that faced that rapper, but he knew how to tell a story. You know, he knew how to sell when he was injured, and how, I mean, it told a story in the ring. It really was a good overall match. There was beating and banging on each other with you know, foreign objects. You know, we call foreign objects chairs, kendo sticks, which I'm gonna tell you right now, kendo sticks are no joke. They hurt. I hated getting hit with kendo sticks. It's one of the worst things. I'd rather get hit by a chair than a kendo stick. Those things hurt so bad. But it's usually chairs, you know, spread over a lot of area. Kendo sticks is just one area. Man, it pops you pretty good. But anyways, besides the point, you know, that match that told a story. The guy that faced Bad Bunny could tell a story. He knew how to, you know, do that match and give it justice. The other one was, of course, the bloodline thing. One thing I will say I do not like about that whole match, how many super kicks were thrown out. That used to be a finisher. That used to be, you know, a match-ending finisher, and now it's just flung out there like it's like a clothesline or a punch. That kills me. I hate to see that. It drives me nuts. It's you know, one or two maybe in a match, but thank the Lord Shawn Michaels ain't part of the, you know, WWE anymore, because you're destroying that move. That's not a finisher anymore. That's a punch, because you threw 30 of them in that match, and you know, it was nothing. So yeah, I mean, the match itself was decent, you know, it was pretty good, but I say the Bad Bunny match was the best. And I don't care anything about the two people that were in the match. I just thought it was a good match. And then I watched I think it was the very first match. It was that girl with the long braid or whatever. I don't even know her name. Bianca? Something like that. Anyways, she couldn't tell a story. She was trying to sell her arm that was hurt, but yet she was doing handsprings and lifting and everything with that arm. It made no sense whatsoever. It was poorly done. That she cannot tell a story. It drives me nuts to see something like that. You know, these people are supposed to be the best of the best wrestling in the best company, and yet just doing something that carelessly, you know. I mean, the majority of the people that watch it probably wouldn't even pay attention to something like that. They probably don't even care, to be honest with you. They're more worried about what's going on behind the scenes storyline than they are in the match. But for me to watch that match, I'm just like, yeah, you say your arm's hurt, but yet you're doing handsprings and cartwheels and you know, handstands, and you're suplexing, and it's not even supposed to be facing you. Like, you're not, that arm's hurt, but it's not hurt. That makes no sense whatsoever. That was bad storytelling. It didn't sell the fact that her arm was hurt, but yet she played it like it was, that when she wasn't doing a move set, she was like, oh, my arm's hurting, my arm's hurting. But yet she was able to use it just fine. Made no sense. Unlike the Bad Bunny match, where he hobbled, the guy that was facing Bad Bunny was hopping on one leg throughout the whole match. That was a good sell. That told a story that he was injured throughout that match on his leg. Whether he was or not, that's beside the point, you know, but it told a story. Good storytelling in the ring. that's why I said it was a good match. The rest of that junk throughout the rest of the night, just horrible. I mean, just bad. It hurts to watch this stuff as a pro wrestler, or used to be a pro. I can't do it anymore. My back wouldn't allow it, but I really wish I could, because I mean, even if it's small promotions, I just enjoyed getting in the ring and having a good time. But you know, it just kills me to watch this and be like, man, these people are getting paid this much money to do this thing that I love to do, and they can't even tell a story in the ring. Like, that should be basics, you know. I've watched matches and they're rushing. They're too, you know, they're trying to get to the next spot too fast. So they're fumbling and messing up constantly. Like, they're just doing some bad stuff. I mean, it just looks horrible. Like they don't even know how to wrestle. So yeah, I know they're pushing this whole, we gotta, you know, showcase more female talent, but some of them can't wrestle. I mean, it's just bad. I don't know who's training them, but they're not doing good. They can't tell a story. They're messing up constantly. Like, don't showcase these people that can't wrestle. There's girls that can wrestle in WWE that they don't showcase, that they don't push. It's politics, I'm sure, but still, guys, that's what kills me. I think they've ruined what wrestling used to be, because you can't even say pro wrestler in WWE anymore. They're sports entertainers. Well, that's kind of the point. They're pro wrestlers. They're entertainers in the ring that tell a story in the ring. Stop focusing on all the back, you know, stage stuff. More focus about what's being told in the ring, because I remember a story, and I can't remember who was in the match, but it was back in the 70s. It was a Madison Square Garden, and the match was going on, and one of the guys just flat out, you know, gave him a punch in the face. The other guy went down and laid there for 20 minutes, and the whole place was quiet the whole entire time, because they thought, and they really believed that he was hurt, like he got knocked out. That's capturing the audience in storytelling. That's, you know, making that person that, like, well, this is all fake, and looking, you know, getting that person to be caught in it. That's something that don't happen anymore, because you do 14 million super kicks and the person bounced back up like it was nothing. I mean, that's what kills me. I mean, I don't know if y'all even care about pro wrestling, or me even talking about pro wrestling or anything, but it's something that I did enjoy quite a bit. And I know there's other promotions out there that are kind of on the bigger side. AEW is probably kind of the biggest competitor to WWE. Not even on the same level though, but still it's kind of on the bigger side. And then you got, I think TNA is still going on. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't know if it is or not, but that's probably the third. And I know NWA is still around, but those are small promotions now that are usually in your, you know, your local National Guard armories and stuff. But yeah, I mean, maybe I go watch AEW. Maybe there's some better storytelling. I know there's some older wrestlers on there that hopefully are teaching these kids better storytelling mechanics and stuff. I don't know. I haven't watched it. It's usually on during a day that I'm like not home, so I never really end up watching it. But maybe it's better. I don't know. I'll have to go check it out. But if you want me to talk more about wrestling, or maybe even watch a pay-per-view with y'all, if you have Peacock or whatever, I think it's Peacock, it comes on for free now. That blows my mind. It's not even pay-per-views anymore. If you have Peacock, you get for free. Let me know. Maybe we'll do a live stream where I talk about the ins and out of wrestling during a pay-per-view and how some spots are botched and some spots were good, and we can do that. I have no problem with doing that. I'm more than happy to go down that route. So if that's what you want to do, we will. But I will catch you next time I'm here at work.